Welcome or welcome back to Cooking with Frenchy. Cooking and baking made easy. Today it's all about the seafood risotto. Let's get started with a little bit of olive oil in a large frying pan. We are going to start with your crab meat to cook it thoroughly and give some flavor to the pan. It's very, very important. Once you've done that, you remove the crab and you add a little bit more of olive oil, you heat it up, and we are going to put the rice. So we use arborio rice for risotto dish. Very, very important. It makes it very, very traditional. We try to scrape a bit of the pan to remove the flavor of the crab, but also for the grain of rice to be coated with the oil until they look a little bit translucent, a little bit transparent, and you see a dough pond into it. For this recipe, I'm adding what I have in the pantry, so it's red onions. You could use brown onions, totally up to you. And we're going to make them sweat a little bit with the rice and give them a little bit of caramelization color. All those flavors are binding together. So for this risotto, it's a red risotto, so I'm using some tomato paste. Then I cook a little bit with the rice, make sure it's all coated again. It's very important. When you make a risotto as well, make sure that you use a stock that it's warm. That really helps, or wine at room temperature. So for this recipe, I'm using some leftover rosé wines that I didn't finish the night before. You could do red wine as well. I do sometimes, especially for my seafood, which has a strong flavor. People will tell you, oh, you're always going to use white wine for seafood, blah, 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 blah. You choose, you use, and try what you have in a pantry and you'll be surprised of the results. So once I put my wine, I simmer, I reduce the heat of the frying pan a little bit and I simmer gently until it starts to stick. When it starts to stick, that's when you start to add either more wine but stock. So here I have a strong lobster stocks and I've done in recipe in the past. So if you check my channel or if you check cookingwithfrenchy.com, you will see a recipe for lobster stock. You could do those with shrimp stock. You could do those with any other seafood stock or fish stock. However, if you don't have a stock already made, buy some convenient stock. Have some vegetable stock, works as well. Worst case scenario, you don't have stock at all. Just use water. But stocks make grand difference. That's what makes the difference in the taste of the rice. So I love my lobster stock and therefore I'm using it. So again, we're gonna cook until absorption. So I'm doing that 2 or 3 times or 4 times through the process. I'm putting the warm stock, let it simmer, stir the rice, make sure it absorbs uniformly everywhere, and it's really, really so important. That's how you cook risotto. It's not just you put the stock, you let it absorb, and boom, done. It's not like this. So here I can tell that my rice is not cooked as yet. So I'll give it a try. It's a bit crunchy. It's not enough stock. I need to add more. As you can see, I have prepared a frying pan on the side. That would be for my salmon later on. You can always follow me on Instagram and Facebook on Cooking with Frenchy. Just in case you miss out on the new episode or new video or little things I do on the side, little trick and tips. I'll put some more at times, especially on those pages. Now that I've added a little bit more stock and I'm towards the end process cooking of my risotto, I can add my broccolini. In a perfect world in a restaurant, I would have blanch and refresh those one, put them aside as part of a mise en place Because I'm at home and I want to cook one sauce pot or frying pan at least, I try to limitate my cleaning. I can put this straight away into the pan and slowly let it simmer, which will cook the broccolini as well as the spring onions. So we're nearly getting there to the last absorption of my stock. So therefore, I'm going to start heating up a little bit of the butter into the frying pan, and I'm going to put my salmon. If you can reproduce this recipe all together, please do so. If you don't, you have many alternatives. You don't need to use the stock I use. You don't need to use the vegetable I use. You don't need to use the wine I use, or the fish or the seafood I've used in this recipe. You could use a different fish if you wanted to. You can use cockles, you can use mussels, you could use squid, items or seafood that are a little bit cheaper. This one I must say it's a bit of a decadent risotto. Quality, flavor and style restaurant at home. That's what we try to do. I try to demystify cooking just for you. Again, I'm giving a little bit of a stir to my risotto. Make sure now it doesn't stick to the bottom. As you can see, most of the liquid has gone. I'm pretty sure soon I'm going to try again. Well, there you go. That looks more like it. You see, it looks a little bit more creamy, sticky. That's the starch. So I'm adding a bit of cream. I will add a little bit of Parmesan cheese into it. Probably a nub of butter. Depends how rich I want it. Meanwhile, my salmon will cook for about 2 minutes on high heat on both sides. Just ready to cook it nicely. I will remove it from the fry pan and let it rest for 2 or 3 minutes by the time I can cook the scallops. Meanwhile, I still stir the risotto, and look at that. Look how creamy is that. I tell you what, it's 9 a.m. when I'm recording this audio, and I really feel like it. I could have that for breakfast, I reckon. Look how creamy is this thing. Yum. Now that's what we talk about. So I learned from that from Nonna's in Italy, in the north of Italy, and Nonna from Sicily, and that's how she showed me a little secret of how the risotto should feel like, looks like, tastes like. I'm putting back my crabs that I cooked at the beginning. Just a quick reheating, quick finish of cooking process, all flavors together. Imagine we have the lobster flavor of the stock, the crab flavor and the texture. We're gonna have the salmon on the side and the scallops. It's a risotto. It should be made for Christmas, really. It's that good and that decadent. Just a truffle on top and poof, ha ha ha. Mon Dieu, mamma mia, molto bene, sì. So Grana Padano is an Italian cheese. It's not Parmesan, it's pretty close. It's quite different, it's got a different flavor. But I like that cheese as well. Bit of butter, bit of Parmesan to finish it off. Salmon is finishing off itself. It's just the best. I had a few friends for this recipe, and one of them is Italian, and she said it's the best risotto she ever had. And I shouldn't put it or tell her name on the video, otherwise her father is going to be totally upset because he's an Italian chef and he reckons he makes the best risotto. So that's the feedback I love to hear. Same frying pan, bit more butter, scallops. We have beautiful scallops here in Western Australia around Shark Bay. If you ever look for supplier, just go and see Joss, David, and the Catalano's brother down in Bassendean. They will look after you. They're very, very nice people. I got my shark bay meat, crab meat from them, the scallop from them, and the salmon. I think it's about time to plate now. Here we are, yeah. So very, very easy. A lot of people struggle with plating food or risotto. Put your plates. Here I just use a central plating style, really. A lot of people will put the risotto and the salmon on the side. I like to have salmon on the side, risotto side by side. The broccoli on top, the scallops around. A bit of garnish, keep it fresh, no more than that. That's all you need to do, really. Keep it simple. And people really, really will love it. So you've tried my risotto. I hope you enjoy it. Please comment on the section below. The recipes, check the section below. It's at cookingwithfrenchy.com. You have the full recipe ingredients just for you. Have a lovely weekend and enjoy yourself. Enjoy cooking. Bye from Frenchy.